Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Paranormal Reports. I am Ray, and this is Abandoned Legacies, episode 21. And this is a show where I talk about abandoned stuff like ships, towns, medieval villages, all that Nardi Gras. Nardi Gras, not Mardi Gras. You know what I mean. So, yes, I made a boo boo. If you're rejoining me, I did make a boo boo this week because I'm getting into a new schedule, everyone. And welcome back, Cockney. I am getting into a new schedule, so forgive me. It was going to be this for week 2, and I've actually done haunted hours, so I apologise. That is going to be coming out Thursday because I've got this new schedule. But in the meantime, I'm going to go talk about this. So please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share, all that good stuff, and yeah, and hit that notification bell. So yeah, I do apologise again. We all make mistakes. Anyways, so tonight we're going to be talking about Wharram Percy. This lovely medieval village. This village is in North Yorkshire, and this is a place that time basically tried to bury. It's basically it was once a very bustling medieval village, as you can see. But it's puzzled historians for centuries because skeletal remains of crumbled walls has been is there, overgrown paths. Basically, something happened. Was there a famine that caused the village to die out? Was there a plague? Was it a plague or was there something else there that caused people just to go, yeah, we're getting out of here? Basically, that's what we're going to try and find out. So, who knows about Wharram Percy? Let me know. And yeah. So basically, if you don't know where Wharram Percy is located, I'll show you now on a map. Hang on. Right. Yeah, but welcome back, Cockney. Right. And like I said, exactly, it's in the middle of nowhere. And like I said, I'm sorry in advance if people are seeing me again, but yeah, I messed up. So you've got to forgive me, everyone. Getting used to a new schedule for you guys. It's just here. There's York. We all know where York is if you've all been there. Wharram Percy's there, so it's more closer to Filey and all that around that area. Look, see. The closest, like I said, the closest city is York. And then Scarborough, obviously, up there is the teesside town, but that's crazy, isn't it? You wouldn't think where that would you know where it is, but yeah, it's like, I'm not rude. I think I just saw a place also that's famous. Look, Flamingo Land's right over there, look, in Resort, look. It's nuts. You know? So what could have happened to it then? Basically, 600. It was occupied for over 600. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow. Basically, it was occupied for over 600 years. That's known fact. But then its decline began when the Norman Conquest happened. Yes, the Norman Conquest, everyone. And then something shifted. Obviously the Black Death come around and it devastated rural areas. Caused economical changes to that caused landlords to like convert farmland into sheep pastures. And but there was a thing that happened in the 20th century at this location. Basically, human remains were found and buried in strange conditions. Like there's cut marks on bones, like post-mortem dismemberments, like Also, graves were disturbed long after burial. Some people think it could have been a fear of revenants. We don't know what the revenants are. I suggest you research, but basically, is basically like a zombie. In layman's terms, it's basically like a zombie. Basically, you know. Nah, not Dogman, Cockney, but near enough. Very like near enough, like similar. To basically a zombie. So basically, they think that there was all traditions and local legends right around the area. That basically people were speaking of cursed grounds in the area, wandering spirits. There's also at the ruins at dusk. There was like strange sounds echoing through there. The most prominent ruin is the one I showed you right at the beginning of it just now before I showed you where Wharram Percy is located. That is of St. Martin's Church. I'll get it back up for you if you're just tuning in now. Hang on, I'll show you another picture of it, but yeah, so make sure you're in that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends, family, whoever you think will find this interesting, and yeah, turn that notification bell on if you're enjoying this. But yeah, this is St. Martin's Church, and it's the most prominent ruin that is left standing from that time. And it's an historical landmark and an epicenter of tremendous paranormal reports that I might even go here and investigate later on. But there's an isolated bell tower, as you can see. It's been battered by centuries of wind, rain, snow, you know. But it looks like it's keeping secrets, doesn't it? If you look at the picture, looks like it's trying to hide something. But what could it be hiding? Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. So basically, for all of you that don't know about Wharram Percy, I'll give you some facts now about the location. Um, is it the most intensively studied deserted medieval village here in the UK? Basically, historians, archaeologists all go there and research it. Um, but basically, the site is in a remote valley and it includes ruined structures, which I just showed you, former farmland that it's on, and also there's burial sites. Iron Age and Romans were stationed there in the area, and but the village was settled in by Anglo Saxons around about the 9th to 10th century. It flourished out during the 11th, 9th to 11th to 14th century, when over 200 people were staying there. And the people that it was named after, the Percy family, held the lands during the 12th century, but then abandonment happened in the 15th century. Um, The Orton family in the 15th century played a crucial role in tenant evictions, which is crazy. There's over 700 graves in St. Martin's Church. Um, and the craziest thing is there's hang on. Extensive excavations were conducted by two gentlemen from the 1950s to 1990 called Morris Beresford and John Hurst, and they found post-medieval skeletons, which I told you, remnants of lawn houses, crofts, and toffs, which are basically medieval Welsh plots and farmland, and evidence that there was farming terraces and manorial structures on this land. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, there's loads of ghost stories connected to this place, which I'll talk about in another episode of Haunted Hours, more than likely, or or you might even see me doing an investigation here. But yeah. So basically, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened for it to be abandoned? Could it have been the Black Death, as they said? Could it have been famine? Could it be anything, you know? I don't know. You tell me. This is nuts. You know? Yeah, there's loads of medieval villages in England, obviously, and that you'd say like that, like medieval city as well. There's places like Chester, York, all remnants of a bygone era. But places like this that have just got a church, they're out there, but it's crazy to think, you know. But basically, local people will say that there's ghostly figures walking the valley, and unexplained sounds come around this ghostly ghosts walk around and sounds come around the church. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go into more detail about the paranormal stuff because obviously we're dealing about the abandoned stuff. But yeah, that ain't got a roof on, if you can tell, obviously. But what the fuck happened for it to be abandoned, eh? What changed? Like, what the hell changed for it to happen, you know? What changed for it to be abandoned? I want to know. Well, I'd love to know your opinions, everyone. When you're hitting that like, and also hit that like button, subscribe, share, turn the notification bell on so you don't miss anything. Let's see what other photos we can get of the Wharram Percy, shall we? Right, there's a book. Look, oh my god. Look at that for view. It's nuts. Man, look. Hang on, they're a nice depiction of what it would have looked like. Yeah. That's what it would have looked like. Wharram Percy. That would have what it would have looked like. And it's been cut down to that. Look. From that to that. What the hell happened for it to get abandoned, everyone? It's nuts. Look. What the fuck happened, eh? No, not really lake or pond or whatever, but I want to know what caused it all to come away and them to like move like and start leaving. You know, that's nuts. Look, like it's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, leaving the you think everyone. Um, also, let me know if there's any other place I should be looking at and doing a video on. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna leave this episode here because this is a short one because I already messed up today, and I don't want to do any more. But yeah, thank you everyone for taking part tonight. Um, like I said, hit the like button, share the video out with your friends. Let's get this community growing, and let's get more people in here to talk about history, the paranormal, all that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Big love to you all. Um, Let me know, like I say, in the comments what your guys' thoughts are on everything. And thank you, like I said, thank you, and take care, everyone. And remember, history's there to be uncovered. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.